Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Redneck Ways. How's everybody out there in YouTube land? Hope everybody's said fine and dandy. Guys, we're back over here on the tractor, and as luck may have it, every time I come over here, it looks like it's going to rain. I don't know why, but it seems like every time I try to work on it, here comes a rain cloud. But we're going to try to get some stuff done. Me and my dad just about got the motor mounted. It was a lot of trouble. I don't know why. I've never had that much problem trying to get a little engine mounted on something, but this one gave me a lot of problems. Bring it over here and show you what we did. I was going to have my son weld me a piece on, and actually had this plate here, and I was going to have him weld me a plate on there, but it really wasn't going to work because it took a lot of just trying to figure out how to get this at the right height. So what I ended up doing is using 1 3/4 piece of plywood and some of those inferior strips, and right here they're just like, what is that, 1/2 inch. So, and I just painted them black. I finally got all the holes drilled. The top hose wasn't too bad, but trying to get down in here, trying to get my drill in between the tie rod and everything, was a pain in the butt. I still have 2 more holes here to drill, which that's easy. I got the hard part over, and it's pretty much lined up, and I think she's going to work out pretty good. I am disappointed. I cannot find a pulley made in the United States. I cannot believe that the greatest countries I live in, I can't find a made USA pulley in my town. Unfortunately, this is made in China, and I hate it because everything here, well, the motor's not, but Japan, Japan's good too. Just it stinks to have the China thing on it. But with all this American steel, it wasn't too bad having the Japanese motor on it. But just about got it. So what I'm going to do, I got to drill these 2 holes here, and then I'll have that mounted, and we'll get ready to see if we can fire it up. I'm going to have to put something on this pulley here to hold it over while we fire it up. But I think everything's going to be fine. So far, the transmission seems like it's doing pretty good. Still can't get it in neutral, but it does go in first and second. And with this, how this pulley pushes over, it takes the tension off this belt, so it's not going to be too awful dangerous. So we're going to get the motor mounted, and then I've got to work on this tire. The other 3 tires are fine. That's crazy, ain't it? Well, one of them, I think they all have tubes, so I'm going to put a tube in this one too. And luckily, I made a mistake back in the winter when I ordered a tube from our truck, and they sent me the wrong thing. They sent me 2 lawnmower tire tubes, so kind of works out now. So I painted everything flat black, all the frame, so I probably have to get some of that retouched up, since I've put my fingerprints over this black. But you really got to look really close to see that's wood. So I think it'll work, and it's going to be mounted to metal. So I think everything's going to work out. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 holes drilled. I'm going to get everything bolted down good and tight, and I'll be back, and we should be ready to see if we can start it, and it'll sit here and idle. And then if we can check that off our list, and like I said, go to the tire. Once I get this off the trailer, I'm taking the deck off because it's just going to be used as a tractor to pull stuff. So even though I would love to use the blades, I just, at this time, I couldn't find a pulley. I couldn't find anything up here because the Pt2 for the blades is way up here, and as you see, it's underneath the motor. I'm going to have to find a shaft or something where I could set this motor way back. And I don't know how. They didn't have the engine on it when I bought the old lawnmower, so I don't know what kind of contraption was on it when it came from the factory. But alright guys, be back. And also, I messed up on the seat. I've got to take it back off and move it a notch back. I got it too close, and I can't get it in reverse because the gear shifts hitting. And I can't remember. I think I took that boat out. Can't remember. I'll have to look. Alright, I'm going to get those hose drilled, guys. And I will be back. Alright, guys. I've got all the boats in. I'm using lock washers. And walk over here to the other side. I've got these in. I can't use a lock washer on that. I gotta get another bow. I cut that one too short. I do have it on this. These come down here and got lock washers on. So the next thing, guys, we're going to look at is the pulley. And I'm going to have to step up on my soapbox here for a minute. And we'll talk for a minute. Put you guys here on tripod. Alright. Let me take me a little seat here if I can. Alright, guys. I went the other day, had to get a pulley for this. It's a 5/8, I believe. No, it's a 3/4 pulley. And I went down and I grabbed the wrong one. And I had to return this one and get the right one. That kind of stuff. But I looked in 2 or 3 places. Thought I felt a barb. I do. I'm going to take the file that off. Boom. That's exactly what I'm getting to. I went to a few places to find a pulley for this. And I finally found one at Tractor Supply. And I love doing business at my local Tractor Supply and Royal King stuff. I'd rather shop there at the smaller stores, you know, to give them their business, because we're losing one by one. We had a place called, which you probably have one in your town too, it's Joanne Fabrics. Last week was their last week. They shut down. They was there for almost 30 years. They shut her down. And we're losing each, and it's just like dominoes, one by one. Before we know it, we're not going to have anywhere to shop different, all but Lowe's and Walmart and your bigger department stores. But anyway, I went down and bought this, and I got this at Tractor Supply. And I looked and looked, because I wanted one made in USA, made here at home. This old 1970s Bolens farm yard machine, whatever you want to call it. I call it a tractor because it's big, and it has PTOs, and so I classify as a little tractor. But anyway, I wanted to make it everything USA that I used. Well, it was impossible. Now I do know that the motor I'm putting on is a Japan motor, but I think it's, I don't know. I wouldn't want to put a new Briggs and Stratton on it. You know, I love Briggs and Stratton. I love the old Briggs and Stratton. But now they're all made across the C2, and they got plastic gears and stuff. So I'd rather have this Honda, and Hondas are good motors, and I don't have anything wrong with Japan. I mean, really not China either, other than they're trying to take over everything. But this is what I'm trying to get to. This is made in China. And everything's made in China. And I was like thinking, this easy little part, there is no reason why this can't be made here at home. I'm sure if I wanted to go online and order it and wait 2 weeks, I probably could have found one made in the United States, but it's probably be a lot. It really be made in China, but they put a sticker on made. You know how that goes. But anyway, it makes me think. Me and my son had a talk, and we used to talk about these tariffs that our president has on everything and everything. And I agree with him. I really do. I think we should get things here at home, our factories back going, especially for our medications. That's crazy. We don't make I think it's over half our medication that China is making it. You know, communist China is making our medications for our moms and dads and our babies, and even us when we get sick. But that's just crazy in itself. But they make everything. Like a transformer or something goes out around here, they've got to get it from China. You know, so they're even in, you know, we gotta have parts for our electric grid from them. It's just crazy. But like I was saying, I was talking to my son, and you know, where our president now has started these tariffs and started cracking down, that's all good and said, but we've got to have somebody in step of after this president's gone, that's going to take over and keep things pushed that way, because this is going to take longer than 4 years. It took longer than 4 years for us to get in the shape we're in, so it's going to take more than 4 years to get out of it. So we really need somebody that really loves our country and wants to get things over here where, you know, we can go to a store and it actually says made in America. And it's going to take a long time. This is just not a simple fix. This has been going down the hill since back in Carter days, I reckon. Whenever they started sending everything across, I guess what was that, in 76, when they started sending everything across, and it just kept getting worse and worse over years. That's what I'm saying. It took 30 or 40 years for it's getting this shape. But yeah, I'm off my soapbox. It just really upset me. I couldn't find a pulley made here at home, and we've got to put this crappy Chinese pulley on. Okay, enough of that crap. Let's get it. I still got to cut the tag off. I'm going to show y'all how you do this in case somebody's out there watching and you never put a pulley on a motor, a little engine before. So this has it has 2 set screws. We'll get to that later. And then you got your key here, Carter key, not Carter key, but shaft key. So you got to have that. So let me go grab that real quick. All right, guys. Here's your little key, and it goes right here in this slot, right here. And then there's a place in the engine on the shaft that's going to feed your keyway. So let me get you guys up here. Alright guys, do you see this keyway right here? See how it's got that slot? That's where you want to put this. That goes right in there like that. And then your slot on your pulley, you want to put right there with it. You want to match it. Push it all the way in. And you want to match that. Which I'll probably have to back these. Probably have to back these set screws out real quick. There we go. Let me try this again. There we go. And I have it. There we go. That looks good. So now we're going to set our set screws and use an Allen wrench. Tighten them up. Bring this over. I can't believe how much these little pulleys are. I mean, everything you go to do nowadays is so expensive. It's hard to do little projects anymore. Paint, because we're painting this too. And I just, it just stinks how much stuff is. And there's no reason. I bought the same paint. You gotta get them good and tight. Here about 6 months ago, and it was $18, and now the paint's $25. This pulley was $26. It's just crazy. But anyway, I don't want this to be a gripe fest, so we got that on. So what I'm probably going to have to do, guys, make sure this pulley is back there, and I didn't see that. See, I've got to have this centered, and I haven't tightened the motor down yet. I've just got to get everything perfectly centered and all that. And I got talking, and I didn't think about that. So we've got to loosen them set screws back up. Now, which one was it? There it is. We're glad to loosen them back up because I've got to center it with the belt. Loosen up. So now, guys, we're going to center everything. So that needs to come back. I need to go ahead and put the belt on it. I got to bring this little pulley back. That goes under. All right. Man, is that right? Keys right there. I probably have to bring that key up a little bit. I don't know, it looks pretty good there. Let me go look at the other side. You gotta have that, you gotta have it straight. Because if you don't have it straight, it will pop off on you. So I'm going to have to bring that key up a little bit so I could, this needs to go back just a shade. Let me see if I can push that with the pair of pliers. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks better. And now I can put that in there. So there you go, guys. That's how you do it. That's your pulley. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. My dad came out to visit. He's helped me so much in this. And today is his birthday. And he is 71 years old today. April the 30th. Alrighty, guys, we're going to tighten these bolts up. And we'll have the motor done. Let me grab my wrench and stuff. I think everything's lined up pretty good. And it looks pretty straight. Maybe that looks pretty good right there. And we can always adjust it if we need to. So I'm using 1/2 inch bolts. Well, make sure it stays straight. Hopefully that crush washer do its job. There's that one. We'll come back to it. Oh, I didn't mean to bump you. Well, that was going to be a pain. Alright, get in there. I mean, it won't stay on there as long as it doesn't say it wants to fall off. There we go. Is everything still straight? Oh, I want my coffee. I think so. That looks pretty straight. Let's go to the other side, guys. It's starting to get dark. There's not enough time in the day anymore for all this. So let me see. I'm going to get my extension, which I took over there. See if I can get some of that now. There's that one. Here's this one. So now I got crush washer down. Good and tight. Come on, I just need one more turn. I lied, two more. That should do her. Now we gotta get these. I got a crush washer on the bottom. There's that one. We have to take the grinder and cut these bottom bolts off. A little bit too long. All right. And that motor is not going anywhere, guys. It looks good and straight over here. Everything looks good and straight. I gotta go back over here and tighten these bolts back up a little bit. Get those snugged up. Turn it. I heard that pine do a little snap, crackle, pop. My shoulder ain't been the way the whole time. There we go, guys. So the motor's on. So let me see if we can get it started. Alright, guys, I took the belt off right now because I've still got some stuff to do back there, so I don't want the drivetrain going. Ain't doing anything funny, but let's see if the old motor will start and see how she runs here on this frame. Turn it on. And we want this on. Do a choke. we go. We got her mounted and put on. And I've just got to move that seat. I got to check that transmission. I got to open that back up because I got to make my marks. So I have no idea where reverse and neutral is. I forgot. And it hasn't been a week since I was in that thing. But I got to put my marks up there so I know exactly where that gear shift goes. And I got to move the seat back. There's still so much to do, but I thank you guys for coming along with me, and we'll get her done together. I think we're going to have a pretty cool ride. It's going to be, once I get it off the trailer stuff, I'm taking the blades off, and we'll store those and just use it as a pulley, as a pulling device to pull my boats around. I think I said that in my last video, but pull these, get these out of the way so I can cut grass underneath them and everything, because it don't grow super bad underneath them, but at the same time it does. So hold on one second, guys, and I'll show you what color we're going to paint it. All right, guys, this is the color that we're going to paint it. That IH red. I think it's going to look really good. So, alrighty, guys. I guess that'll do it for this one. In part 3, guys, we're going to pull this tire off and put an inner tube in it. So that will be the next video. And in the next video, we may be able to get it off the trailer and maybe take it for a ride. Still got to come up with a way to hook the throttle up. Still trying to figure that out. I don't know if I want to make some type of like gas pedal or just make a throttle cable. I'll probably just go with the throttle cable. And I want to get one of those little poppers for the exhaust, a stack. You know what I mean? My boy, he's real good at welding, so I think I'm going to get him to weld me a stack here on this and have one of them little poppers. That I love that sound. They go pop 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 when it's running. And I think that'll be really neat. So I'm thinking about trying to get that done too. Alrighty, guys. I hope you all had a great Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing good and everybody's fine. Until the next one, I'll see you right here at Redneck Ways. Bye, guys.